when Zsa Zsa Gabor made her divorce lawyer, Michael O'Hara, her 8th husband just 3 days after divorcing her 7th husband and then overlapped her 7th husband with her 8th? I do. The moment that Zsa Zsa set her eyes on Michael O'Hara, she was enthralled by him. She said that he was beautiful, sexy, and was the epitome of masculinity. They went to dinner that night and then they got married. I mean, they were already in Vegas. Why not? The pair were married on August 26, 1976, just 3 days after her divorce from Jack Ryan was signed, sealed, and delivered. She married Michael in the bridal suite of the Las Vegas Hilton, where she married Jack just 7 months prior. She said of that day, as I walked in, again the blushing bride, brimful of hope and promise, the chapel owner blinked as if to say, I saw you here not long ago. I was beginning to feel like Bluebird, a reference to the 1938 film Bluebird's 8th wife. Now, I wish I could tell you more about Michael, how old he was, where he went to school, but there's not a lot known about him. Zsa Zsa herself said that she felt like she could almost characterize her marriage to Michael by just writing his name and leaving a blank page. I do know that he had a daughter named Melina, though, who was 5 when they met, and Zsa Zsa adored her. But she had been warned by friend actress Merle Oberon, be careful, I wouldn't marry a lawyer because it can only cost you. And cost her it did. At first, their marriage was wonderful, as it usually is, but Michael's own baggage and moodiness weighed on them. In 1981, an interviewer asked about Michael, saying that Zsa Zsa had been married a long time, to which she responded, yes, 4 years already. That's really something for me. And when asked why that marriage was working where others weren't, she said that the marriage worked because she was too lazy to get divorced, before laughing and continuing on, saying that she thought it was an all-right marriage as far as marriages could go, but that people should really live in sin and not be married because people take each other for granted after getting married. She certainly never took her own advice. But in reality, it wasn't working. She suffered because she loved him, because he loved her, and because everything had changed, although she had no idea what actually had changed. The pair separated and started divorce proceedings sometime in 1982. It's a bit hazy, as most things are with Zsa Zsa, but at least she found the energy to finally leave the unmemorable marriage. But it was while she was in Palm Beach that she encountered Felipe de Alba. Felipe was born on April 29, 1924 in Mexico. He was a character actor and lawyer. Pretty sure Merle warned her about that, and had been previously involved with Estee Lauder. He drove her roles and tried to woo Zsa Zsa, but she was just too hurt from her marriage to Michael. And while Felipe didn't really have any money of his own, and Zsa Zsa didn't really trust him, her friend Liz Whitney told her, Zsa Zsa, Felipe de Alba is just like you. He was educated in Switzerland and speaks 6 languages fluently. He's a gentleman, and you should marry him. Great friend, that Liz. Which is how Zsa Zsa found herself in Puerto Vallarta on April 13, 1983, dressed in a floor-length Oscar de la Renta gown, marrying Felipe on her sister Eva's yacht while a 24-piece mariachi band played. The mariachi band part's cool. Fortunately for Zsa Zsa, the universe intervened on her behalf and saved her from her hasty behavior. You see, Zsa Zsa and Michael's divorce hadn't been made official by the state, so she had kind of committed bigamy, and the marriage wasn't legal. On top of that, Eva's husband Peter had told the captain to perform the ceremony 8 nautical miles out from shore, knowing that it would make the marriage invalid. He told Eva, perfect, now the marriage will be exactly as legal as Zsa Zsa wants it to be. And while Zsa Zsa was under the assumption that the boat had to be further than 12.3 nautical miles from shore for it to be legal, you actually have to be within 12 nautical miles of shore for a marriage to be legal in most places, like 8 miles from shore. Obviously, it varies by jurisdiction, but boy, was Zsa Zsa lucky she was still legally married to Michael. Otherwise. As the pair arrived back in California, a huge party was waiting for them as news hit the press of her 8th marriage. Zsa Zsa couldn't bear to break the news at that point about her faux marriage. Apart from the whole thing not being legal, the pair hadn't even consummated anything. I mean, they had barely even smooched. A few days later, Michael took Felipe to the airport and said goodbye on Zsa Zsa's behalf. Well, most sources claim that it was the shortest marriage in celebrity history at only 1 day, and that it was annulled. The reality is that it never actually happened at all. Shortly after her not-so-8th marriage, her 7th divorce was officially finalized. Zsa Zsa was free to marry for the 9th, 8th, 8.5th final time. But more on that in the next video, and this one is a prince I hope you liked this one. If you did, please save it and share it with your friends. It really does help spread the good word of the cult. We've almost wrapped up Zsa Zsa January. Yeah, halfway through February. That's fine, though, you know. What is time? Also, don't forget to follow me over on the gram, the tube of the U, just in case. We never know what's going to happen in this app. It's so unpredictable. Good day, and may the cult be with you.